McLovin, the poll question before we get to Alex Caruso of the Lakers.
It's hard hitting, as you would say. Would you take a punch from Mike Tyson for $1 million? 58% of our audience is crazy and said yes.
Let me start there with Alex Caruso. Would you take a punch from Mike Tyson for $1 million, Alex?
There's 58% of your listeners that are lying to themselves. There's no way. No chance.
Have you ever taken a punch?
I think the last fist fight I was probably in was maybe third or fourth grade, so not in a while. I tend to stay out of those scuffles, but I weigh my mental health in dollar amounts. It's a lot more than $1 million.
Have you ever taken a charge in the NBA that you regretted, where you just said, "Oh, this is going to hurt"?
Yeah, there's been a couple on some bigger guys. I took one last night, even on a guy named George Niang. I just don't weigh as much as these people. I look small on TV. I feel pretty big compared to the average human, but out there, I'm the smaller one.
Who came up with your nicknames? You got a few nicknames.
Yeah, I got like an encyclopedia of them. I would say mostly Lakers fans. Just over those 2 years on two-way, they kind of started, and then really this year they kind of just took off once I was there full time, and they got to see me firsthand.
What's your favorite one?
Probably the Caruso one, just because of the play on words with the name and the Lake Show. It's kind of destiny.
But Bald Mamba, and Bald Eagle, you're okay with those?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What are you gonna do? I mean, nickname's a nickname.
It doesn't sound like you're okay with those two.
I mean, what are you gonna do? I can't pick my own Fire Dragon or something like that.
When did you know you could play in the NBA?
I feel like those 2 years on two-way, those first 2 years I was on two-way contract with the Lakers was when I kind of figured it out. I would get playing time here and there based on injuries or bodies that were down. Just the minutes I was out there, I would have a couple plays here or there, string together a couple good possessions, and I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. And then the more and more I was out there, I just get really comfortable. You catch up to the speed of the game, and then things start to slow down for you.
When has LeBron ever yelled at you?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I tend to hold myself to pretty high standards. So most of the time, if anybody needs to correct myself, it's usually me yelling at me.
What was your welcome to the NBA moment? Feels like everybody has one, good or bad.
I don't know if actually I have a good one. It was we were playing Warriors before they broke up the band, and it was Clay, Steph, KD, and we were playing a game. And at that point, our Lakers teams, our backcourt was me, Isaiah Thomas, and Zoe. And we went out to match up after a timeout, and I'm doing the mental check as a point guard, matching up him. And then I look and I'm like, okay, that leaves me with KD. I look over at the bench. Coach B. Keefe is like just shaking his head. Yep. So I do my normal. I pick up full court, just give a little choking pressure, and he inbounds the ball, and then he kind of looks around, and he realizes that I'm guarding him, and he's like, "Hey man, give me the ball."
Wait, did he say it out loud or just mention?
Oh yeah, 100% said it out. I will say I held my own. He went 1 for 2, hit a tough shot, and then I got a turnover. So I feel like that was a pretty neutral encounter.
Yeah, but you were a really good defender in college. I mean, you came up with a lot of steals, and
I mean, in my opinion, I'm a really good defender now too.
Well, I don't know if anybody's a real good defender in the NBA. It feels like the way these guys score, right? Yeah. Who's that tough matchup though? When you go, oh, this is not going to be fun.
I mean, you got the easy ones, right? Like Harden. I mean, the stuff he can do with the basketball is so underappreciated. He's so good at scoring. It's almost like people root against him just because he's so good. It's
what do you want to make him do, Alex?
You can't let him shoot threes. If you let him shoot threes, he's going to put 60 on you. We've seen that so many times, and it's a lot easier to say that than to do that.
Yeah.
But I think you got to live with him getting to the paint and either creating for others or taking those little tough mid ranges or floaters, which he's more than capable of making and getting to 36, almost 40 points. So it's kind of a lose-lose. You just try to do your best and frustrate him sometimes.
And he's so physical too. I think that's what people don't realize.
He's 6'7". I mean, it's a tough thing. He's 6'7", and he makes the step back just like a normal catch and shoot jumper for most people. So yeah, that's a really tough one. Dame's a tough one. Dame's his range is unlimited, and then he's really, 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 really quick. So those two are tough, and then the obvious ones that Kawhi. Even Paul George. I mean, most of these guys that are tough to guard, they're the ones that can shoot from 30 feet, but also take you to the rim.
Who talks the most to you?
I really don't hear too much jabber. At least not towards me. I'm not a trash talker myself. Once about halfway through my college career, I kind of dialed back on that, because it was slowing me down. I didn't have a very good mental edge on people when I was trying to talk trash. I'm not a guy who can perform and do that. So I'm a hype my teammates up and stay in my lane kind of person now.
He's Alex Caruso, the Lakers guard. He is partnering with Small Stars, and it's they have a new short that came out, Taco Tuesday, where his Small Stars teammates join him for a weekly meal in fun, the shareable video here. Explain what you're doing with this.
Yeah, so basically have a little fun with the play on Taco Tuesday. I'll have a video out on my socials later today that'll explain it all a lot better. But Small Stars basically it's the 21st century collectible, right? It's a foot tall. It has a little magnetic basketball. It's bigger than your normal collectible item or bobblehead or anything like that. I have a couple of them that they sent me, and when I first took it out of the box, I was surprised at how big the actual collectible was. But it's just a really, really cool way for basketball fans of the NBA. You see your favorite player, AD, Bron, I think Dame and Giannis are the other ones that they're starting out with. Just a really cool thing to kind of show your fandom.
I want the Caruso bobblehead doll.
We're working on it. I'm crossing my fingers. We might get one done.
Now, does LeBron know that you've hijacked Taco Tuesday?
I don't think he did. I think I borrowed it. I wouldn't say hijacked.
Well, I'm going to leave that up to you when you tell to LeBron, because
technically his collectible was at dinner, so it's like part of him was there too. So we got the release basically.
You missed your sister's wedding because you, of course, were in the bubble. What do you get your sister when you miss her wedding?
Championship.
There you go. That's what I said. That's
I can do to repay that, right?
Yeah, that's the best gift you can give her.
Get her on the bus and the parade, and we'll call it even.
Could you answer this honestly, even though you're his teammate? If I said, who's the MVP of the NBA this season?
You kind of loaded that question, huh? I would say LeBron.
Well, okay. If I took LeBron off the ballot, then who is?
If it's not LeBron, I think it'd have to be Giannis.
Okay.
I think Giannis is a phenomenal player. The stuff he does night in, night out. He's the mismatch. I think that's the way the league's going, where you have a big 6'9" to 7 foot wing or post that can handle, shoot, get to the rim, play make. I think that's what the league's turning into. You see it. We got two of them on our team, and AD and LeBron, and that's a luxury to have. But every team has to have one now. He's doing it at the highest level.
And LeBron at his age, and I had Damian Lillard on a couple of weeks ago, and he said he's still the MVP. He's not what he once was physically, but he is so smart. What is it about him that you're on the floor with him that he has this basketball IQ that's through the roof? I've always prided myself in having a basketball IQ where I've been a real heady player and I can kind of see plays develop before they happen. Being around him and especially him, but also Rajon Rondo, those two guys on the same team, man, it's some of the film sessions and some of the conversations they have in practices or shoot-arounds about how you want to position somebody or put somebody in a certain place on a play. They see stuff on a different level.
it's been awesome for me to just be their teammate and see that process and see how they mentally work through stuff. Just because I'm such a basketball junkie, that kind of stuff gets me excited. But yeah, you can't even speak to how he's playing at his age. But then you match that with how smart he is. I think that's how he's able to keep doing it.
What's the story you're going to tell your grandkids or kids about LeBron?
Probably his work ethic. Probably how that's going to be my pillar as a father is work hard and you can achieve what you want, because I feel like that's kind of how I got to the NBA and how I'm planning on staying here is working through it. And being around him, that dude works more than anybody I know. It's you see him first in the gym, last to leave, he's getting treatment, stuff like that. That's who he is.
Have you been invited to his house for Taco Tuesday?
We have not been over to the house for a taco. Have not. We've been a little busy. Quarantine.
Oh, I know. But prior to quarantine, he had Taco Tuesdays, and you never made it. True. Never made the cut. Okay.
Not yet.
All right.
I'm gonna cross my fingers. I'm gonna send him a text today and let him know I'm upset.
What do you do today? You don't have a game till tomorrow.
Yeah, we hang out. I might go hit some golf balls at the range. We got a team meeting late this afternoon, so just kind of find stuff to do. Play Xbox with the teammates. It's before we started playing games, I would for sure go out and play a full round of golf, maybe a second one. But we got back to back coming up. I'm gonna dial it back.
LeBron play golf?
I don't think so. I don't. We got a couple guys on the team that are trying to get into the game. I played with JR a lot. JR is really good. But I know Kuz and JaVale have both told me they want to go to the range. And those are some tall guys.
I'm worried about JaVale McGee on the driving range, Alex.
You'll probably see it in the next blog.
Give the pitch one more time for Taco Tuesday. Let people know about it.
Taco Tuesday. So I'm doing the video. It'll be out on my socials later today, and it's just a fun little gab about me and the small stars coming out. My two teammates, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, are these replicas, these ginormous replicas, and it's just a fun video kind of promo in the Small Stars campaign coming up.
Well, congrats. It's been a fun ride here, I'm sure, for you, and good luck the rest of the pandemic.
I appreciate that. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's interesting, but we're going to get through it.
Thank you, Alex.
I appreciate you having me on.
That's Alex Caruso, the Lakers guard.